So as chapter 313 of Blue Lock came out just a few days ago, there was a big thing that happened during that chapter that seemed to piss off the entire community. Now, I want to talk about this event in more detail and why do I think this is happening, how to fix it, what is going on in Kanashiro's brain. Just want to discuss about this because I'm virtually getting sick and tired too of this happening over and over again. So if you guys like this type of content, please remember that like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get right into this video. Obviously, if you have a brain, you know I'm talking about the Onazi block in the last chapter, where basically I'm going to summarize the situation for those who don't know. Rin is on a fast break taking on multiple defenders. He's taking on 3 people. Before this play, Onazi was near the blue lock box and he quite literally just shot a shot that was deflected by Nico, and immediately after they started a counterattack, booting the ball to the other side of the pitch where Rin could go and take on 3 people, face up for a shot, and shoot. Now, as Rin shoots this, everyone and their mother, before this page came out, was expecting a defender to block it, or a goalkeeper to block it, or somebody other than Onazi to block it. But for some reason, some way, Onazi decides to turn into Superman and just makes the length of the field seem like a basketball court. It's like we're playing basketball and not football, and these players are teleporting from point A to point B. This is not how it was done before. I want you guys to remember all the way back in the first selection. How many times did Isagi do this? Just a quick guess. Like, how many times do you think Isagi did this when he wasn't even playing striker, when he wasn't even, like, playing as high up the pitch as he is now? How many times do you think Isagi was making defensive stops and blocking the ball from going into our net? Oh yeah, barely any times. I don't think he ever did it back then. Because back then, I clearly remember that when there was the defense playing, you know, we had Nagi versus Igaguri. That matchup was on defense, defender versus offender. And we had on offense, Chigiri versus on Tetsu on the wings, you know, that sort of stuff. I'm not saying strikers shouldn't come back and defend in Blue Lock. I'm just asking why these positions are even there. Like Kanashiro, why do we have a goalkeeper? If a striker, you're going to use a striker to block every shot for them. Like, there's no point in even having a goalkeeper in the net at that point. Like Kanashiro, you might as well make it so that football is played in Blue Lock without goalkeepers and without defenders, because the strikers are doing everything. These are opportunities, Kanashiro, for you to put in characters that, like, could be extra characters in this game, could make this game more intense, could make this game feel like the first selection. Now, I'm not saying that this game isn't already intense, because I just love the back and forth nature of Blue Lock matches, but at the same time, I'm getting sick and tired of this, guys. And I think a lot of people in the community are too, because this all started in the NEL. Yes, the NEL, the arc where a lot of Blue Lock's problems mainly come from, but we're not going to get into that. The NEL started this with Isagi's first stop on Chris. My theory on what happened here was the first time Isagi stopped Chris, the entire Blue Lock community blew up. We were like, oh my god, what a moment, what a hype moment for Isagi. And I feel like Kanashiro's seen that, and I think he just said, okay, you know what? The fans love this the first time. Let me just times this by 10 and do it all the time. Don't get me wrong, it did happen in the U20 once as well, where, you know, Bachara chips the keeper and Sendo hits it off the bar to save it. And, you know, there's also the time where RU is able to block a shot. I get it. It's happening. It's happened before the NEL. I'm not saying that this didn't happen before, but I'm saying that I feel like the NEL is the point where this started to get really common. Like, it started to happen a lot more than it usually should. The only team, and I repeat, the only team that I can expect a defender to block a shot is Ubers. That is the only team I can expect a defender to block a shot. Otherwise, in the PXG game, the person blocking shots was probably Rin, Shido. Charles is a midfielder, so sure, I guess you can kind of count him. And, like, maybe Nanase. Like, there's not really any defenders in Blue Lock. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I think we need to address this issue to get to the issue that I'm supposed to talk to you about first. So yeah, why are there no defenders in a manga about strikers? Extendo is the genius that came up with this logic. You know, he wants more defenders in a manga that's purely based off of, you know, strikers and attacking players. I get it, guys. Listen, I'm not looking for a gazillion different defending players, right? But let's say, for instance, Do you guys remember the second selection and how goated that arc was? It was 5v5, up to 5, 4 players on your team, max, and then it's back and forth. It's like a basketball game, but blue lock. It was a brilliant idea and a brilliant way to execute all the things that Kaneshiro is doing right now in a game and make it not feel like an ass pull because every player has to continuously attack and defend with their matchups. That makes perfect sense why this is happening there. But we can also go to U20, where if you guys remember in U20, there was 4 defenders. The Japan 4 backline, they were giving our blue lockers a little bit of trouble in the beginning of the game. They were. And the one that was giving us the most trouble in the beginning of the game was Aiku, an actual defender. You know, Itoshi Sai was getting his occasional interception, occasional defensive play because he's a midfielder. And Shido maybe too as well. But mainly, it was offense versus defense. It wasn't offense versus Japan's strikers. Like, imagine if we were attacking constantly in U20 and we were going up against Shido and Sendo as our like defenders. Like, it feels like the game is so empty because it doesn't feel like there's 11 people on the pitch. It feels like Blue Lock's playing with 11 people, but it feels like the other team's playing with like 4 or 5. Only their named characters are going to do something. The other characters just exist. They just exist. That's the only thing that they're there for. They just exist. They're just names on the sheet that don't actually ever do anything. Go search up how many times after U20 an unnamed character or a very not very relevant character did anything to stop a play. I don't remember that. To answer this point, someone would probably say, oh, but Extendo, don't you remember the Ubers game? That game was purely just defense versus offense. If that's what you want, it's right there. Listen, I already said that is a perfect example because the Ubers are a team with straight defenders defending and blocking shots. That is the point I'm trying to make. Why am I seeing my attackers go and my strikers go from one end of the pitch to the other end of the pitch and block shots for the goalkeeper or for the defenders? Like, why am I seeing that? Now, I'm not saying, like, listen, Nigeria have a defending player of their own that is going to be a named character, you know? Like, they have one as well. But they only have one. And that guy got absolutely cooked already. Ren's not even in Destroyer. Isagi's not even really trying. Like, he already got cooked. Now, this could go out the window if Nigeria somehow have another, like, defender that's really, really good. But I don't see it because if he was that good, he would have blocked the shot that Ren already shot. He wouldn't need his striker to come and stop it. So, I'm just a little bit frustrated. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm frustrated because, Kaneshiro, you have the tools right there. You're the one creating this story. You quite literally could just go, okay, you know what? Forget Onazi. He's at the top of the field. I'm going to have a defending character go and defend and block this shot. So that way, there's no problem whatsoever. Like, there's literally no problem if Kaneshiro just goes, okay, you know what? I'm going to create another defensive player, and this defensive player is going to be really good at, like, let's say blocking shots, because we haven't seen that other than, like, Ryu or something. Like, you know, and then he blocks the shot. Like, it's not that complicated to do, and I don't know why we're not doing it. The only thing that comes to my head as to why Kaneshiro keeps doing this tactic is because it was so hyped the first few times. I feel like that's the only thing. I feel like it was so hyped the first few times, Kaneshiro caught wind onto how hype it really was, and he's like, you know what? I want to replicate that hype every single time because, you know, you're seeing a striker do it instead of like a defender. That was like the hype moment of it. Like, oh, Isagi, he's all-around player. He's defending, he's attacking, he's playmaking, everything. So that's what was so hyped about the first time. But Kaneshiro, man, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and then expect the same result. Like, you know, you can't do that every single time. And I feel like, bro, if you can just fix this one issue, this arc is going to be much better than I think it'll go down. Because right now, I think this is a great start to the arc. Don't get me wrong. I'm not counting out the U20 World Cup arc because I think this arc has potential to be one of the best sports arc of all time. But I need you to let go of these tropes. Okay, once in a while, it makes sense. Like, let's say they're defending on a corner and the team is up and they need to stay, everybody on their team is staying in like the box. And then you have, let's say, the striker block the shot before a blue lock player shoots it in. That makes perfect sense because he's there. But if you have a guy like Onazi shoot it from almost our box, we boot it. We literally boot it up the field. One pass, dribble, shoot, and he's already at the other side of the net blocking the shot. It just, oh man, I feel like, yeah, it's either Kaneko does not like writing defensive characters, or he just like quite literally just wants to give his attackers hype moments 24/7. I can't choose. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. What do you guys think about this whole shabago? Do you think Kaneko will fix it? Do you have a problem with it? Do you like it? I'd like to hear it all. I like to read all your comments. But if you guys like this type of content, please remember that like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I'm trying to get to 8,000 subscribers, guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. Yeah, man, I hope you guys all have a great day or night wherever you are. And bye-bye.